After a long time away, she returned with a heavy swelling under her belly. The rescuer knew she needed a vet as soon as possible. For a long time, no one had seen her around that building. Each step looked difficult. With the swelling under her belly making movement hard, she walked straight to his shoe and stayed close beside him. She finished every bite, then brushed against his leg and stayed near the food bowl. At the clinic, she stayed still on the exam table without fighting. The X-ray appeared on the screen, and the vet began checking the details. It was not a tumor. The scan showed a large hernia with kittens inside. Street life and repeated pregnancies had left her abdominal wall seriously weakened. The vet said the babies could arrive any day, but natural delivery would not be safe. If labor started outside the clinic, the mother and kittens would face a serious risk. Surgery carried risks, but waiting would have made her condition harder to manage. She came through surgery and woke in a recovery suit. The kittens were premature, very small, and needed immediate support. By the next morning, her appetite was back, and she made sure the clinic staff knew she was hungry. But the news from the nursery was difficult. Only 2 premature kittens were still alive. The 2 tiny white kittens remained inside the incubator. The staff lifted them carefully in gloved hands. Their mother was still too weak to nurse after everything her body had been through. The team began bottle, feeding the 2 survivors around the clock. The rescuer's son looked down at the tiny lives receiving support in the incubator. No one could promise anything. They just had to get through the next day. Minute by minute, the rescuer walked back into the treatment area to see the mother again. She rested in an oxygen box, getting the support her body needed. Her eyes were heavy, and the toll of surgery was clear on her face. When he tapped softly on the glass, she slowly raised her head. As his hand came in, she pushed her face into his palm. A soft purr started as she leaned into the gentle touch. The young boy stayed quiet, watching the mother rest. Then they checked the incubator again. The remaining kittens were curled together for warmth. Their eyes were still sealed, closed off from the world. The next morning, the clinic sent another message. The smaller of the 2 kittens had passed away. Now only one little survivor was left inside that box. The plan was to take the mother and last baby home for foster care. Then routine lab work found another problem. The result came back positive for panleukopenia. For street cats, that virus can become dangerous very fast. The rescuer stood in the lobby holding the last tiny kitten. The vet said the baby's immune system was simply too weak. Both of them had to stay for urgent, intensive care right away. He left the building and drove home without them. All that was left was waiting for the next update. Days later, the phone finally rang. The mother cat was responding to treatment, and her lab results were slowly improving. The staff sent videos of her eating wet food all by herself. She finished the whole bowl. The team added targeted supplements to help support her liver. Through the most fragile stretch, she was getting the care she needed. She took her medicine without scratching, biting, or pulling away. The routine seemed to be getting easier for her. The inflammation finally began to calm down. The test results showed her condition was moving in a safer direction. Her anemia improved enough to move her away from the danger line. At last, the vet said she could leave the clinic. Before she arrived, a strict quarantine space was prepared. Because FPV can shed for months, Isolation and bleach cleaning were necessary. Even with vaccinated pets at home, the rescuer could not take chances. She needed a protected space to finish healing, away from everything else. A large enclosure was built just for her. It gave her room to move without pushing her body too hard. It was not the whole house, but it was safe and quiet. Everything was ready for her return. On her first day home, the rescuer checked the setup. She had kicked a lot of litter out during the night. Food was scattered across the floor tiles. She sat on her shelf, quietly watching the mess get discovered. He looked completely innocent of the chaos. He put on the isolation gown, picked up the broom, and started cleaning. Every surface needed careful sanitation. The careful wipe-downs were a non-negotiable part of the daily routine. She watched the cleaning process from above. Breakfast came with her iron and liver supplements. She seemed to know exactly when the good food was coming. She waited by the wire door without fuss. The bowl slid inside again. She dropped her face straight into the meal. Day 2, the routine continued. The enclosure was slightly cleaner today, showing she was settling in. Full protective gear still had to be worn for every interaction. The moment she saw him coming, she stretched both front paws. Probiotics were added to her morning food to support digestion. The medicine was hard on her stomach, so those supplements mattered. Litter box showed small signs that her system was normalizing. A fresh cup of dry kibble was poured for her to snack on later. Her ears needed regular cleaning too. The young boy watched from a safe distance and followed the quarantine rules. She pressed into the gloved hands and began to purr. Her eyes looked brighter and clearer today. The dust was gently wiped from her ears. She did not pull away once. By day 3, routine felt normal. The quarantine setup kept her safe while protecting the rest of the home. The daily work was extensive but necessary. Patience became the quiet center of her recovery. Her morning liver drops were prepared carefully. The medicine was hidden deep in the wet food. She ate every bite without seeming to notice. The morning cleanup finished smoothly. Her digestion had completely stabilized. Scattered litter was swept away again. Keeping her space spotless was the best way to avoid setbacks. She sat on her mat, quietly watching the care happen around her. On day 4, the weather finally cleared. A small harness was fitted, and she was carried down the stairs. She was placed gently back onto the pavement. She took a few careful steps, smelling the fresh air. She walked along the sidewalk, a place she had known under very different circumstances. Suddenly, she rolled onto her side in the sunlight. There was no fear in it, just a body that finally seemed to relax. She decided she was not going any farther down the path. They slowly moved toward a small patch of grass. She stopped to inspect the base of a tree. Then she flopped right back onto the warm concrete. He stood there and let her rest in the sun. They moved ahead just a few more feet. She showed interest in the nearby bushes. He gently guided her back toward the open walkway. She sat down and looked up, making it clear the walk was over. They stayed outside until she was ready to go back in. Inside again, her dusty paws were wiped clean. She let her paws be held, with her coat finally soft and healthy. The long stretch of isolation and treatment was almost behind her. Outside, she stood on the same kind of pavement where she had once struggled. This time, she could simply rest there,